Okay, I'm going to try to demonstrate how to make a custom-built GPT using OpenAI's GPT Builder. Hopefully it can be done in a few minutes. Let's take a look. So here I am at the top level user interface for GPT+. Move myself out here so I can see in the top there, because when I go into GPTs, because I've got the Plus subscription, I can look at my GPTs and I can create GPTs. And these are the ones that other people have published. I published one yesterday called Woodhouse Education Incorporated. It will be somewhere in this list, but obviously not at the top of the education one. This has been the top one for ages. Astrology. Okay, so let's have a look at my GPTs, the ones that I have made earlier. This is a test one for this video. I'm going to make an educational scaffold to learn something very, very quickly. So I'm going to create a custom GPT. So start off with the basic configuration, and I'm going to just call it learning scaffold. The term scaffold comes from, outside a building, men can, and women, I guess, can climb up the scaffold very, very quickly and get to the top. And so it's a GPT for helping you learn about anything very quickly. This is how I taught myself to build these GPTs. And at the beginning, I just went to this Reddit post where there's this really good prompt. What we're doing is context engineering, but this is a prompt that will just give a one-off answer using this structure of cards. You have a basic information card, and then you have options, and then you can choose to have specialized list of cards. This is all I really need to do to get it started. So let's put the create with this configuration. And on this side, I can preview it and see how it goes. So let's see if it can do this basic information. And so I'm going to say, explain how to use no-code context engineering to improve the configuration of this learning scaffold GPT. So I'm going to get it to explain how I can make it better, hopefully with basic information cards. Well, it hasn't. Okay, it's just wanting to have, yes, basic information card. Hopefully it will then do that. Oh, here we are. Okay. So it's explaining what no-code context engineering is. So in the context of this learning scaffold, we've got this navigation so that you optimize the output and don't waste energy, really. Too many people just put in any old prompts and discard the output. It can get quite difficult sometimes when it goes into thinking mode. Sometimes it can think for minutes and you don't want it to, you want to stop it. And in ChatGPT, at least, you don't have that ability. It just goes on and on using electricity. So in the interest of the planet, let's try and optimize the output with some system level instructions. So let's have a look at option 2 here. Just put in 2, not option 2. I'm just testing out the learning scaffold prompt that I put in the configuration, and it seems to be working. So here are the specialized principles: designing structured prompts, maintaining state and flow, implementing. Okay, so let's have option 6, more of this list, because before, when I was testing it out, I got something about the role that it could. Use cases, education, training, and knowledge trees. This is chain of thought, logical, step by step, breaking a complex task into smaller steps that are logically linked together. This is quite detailed. So it seems to be working. Okay. Now I'm going to change the configuration. I don't have to go back in the configuration tab. It's no code. So I just dictate and it changes it into code, which is going to change the configuration. So I like things to have a role playing. So this is the challenging thing that I tell you. Okay. All right. I want you to adopt the role of Queen Elizabeth II, her voice. So let's see. That's an easy one because there's no real conflict with Queen Elizabeth II and these basic information, specialized topics. So let's see what it's going to do. It's updating, it's writing the code, it's going to change the a fine beginning. So now she's talking like Queen Elizabeth. I just say, for now, you can call it QE2. I'm going to change it later anyway. It might also decide it's going to, it's going to get a picture this time, yes. So maybe it'll get one from the web, maybe make a picture of the Queen. You can put in your own picture as well. Just add a file down here. Okay, that's fine. Right. That's good. Leave it with that. And now let me again ask the question about context engineering, because this is the buzzword at the moment. You know, prompt engineering's been around for at least a year, but it's only a few weeks that people are talking about context engineering. So I'm trying to do it in practice and get it to teach me how to do it. So explain what no-code context engineering is. And then, oh no, just do that. Just explain what no-code context engineering is. Keep it simple. Oh, she's lost those original instructions. It happens quite a lot. So now I've got the Queen telling me something like that, and now I'm going to say, what happened to the original instructions? I like the learning scaffold. It was already in the configure, but you seem to have deleted it. I don't want you to do that. I want you to remember it. It was not dismissed. Ah. So now it's going to go back to the learning scaffold. Okay. What is context engineering without using code? Just testing it. No, it's not doing it. Okay, so let's go over here. What's in the configuration now? Yeah, so it's just an ordinary thing with the voice of Queen Elizabeth, but I don't want to lose that learning scaffold. Anyway, I particularly like the Socratic one, so I am going to ask it to do that. I want you to change to be a teacher using the Socratic dialogue method of learning. This is a real conflict with just belting out those basic information cards, because a Socratic teacher will be asking me lots of questions every time I ask it a question. Okay. So here you can see the test questions are What do you think it means to live a good life? How would you define justice? All these things, right? So yeah, let's just change it to call yourself Socratic Learning Scaffold and change the description to not only that, but one that uses a structured system of responses with basic information, cards, and then more specialized topics for optimized learning very, very quickly without wasting resources. Oh, and you can also find a new picture. Hope it's a good one. I like the Queen, but sometimes. That'll do, I suppose. That's fine. Would you like to begin refining the teaching structure or explore how the learning cards and topics might be arranged? Let me just test it for a moment, because I think that the Socratic dialogue is going to overrule the basic information cards, just as the Queen did. So, usual question. Explain what no-code context engineering is. Instead, it's going to ask me lots of questions about this rather than explain it. Let me ask you. What might it mean to engineer context without writing code? Could it involve configuring environments? Yes, that's right. Workflows, user interfaces, yes. That's definitely what it involves, number one. How important is context to the performance? Well, as I mentioned before, we don't want to waste electricity as this thing explodes. And that's one of the reasons. And on top of that, you know, if you want to get a job nowadays, you're going to have to build custom-built GPTs like this. So this GPT builder is a tool you really need to master. And so forth. Okay, so it's not got the cards and options anymore, but let's go back into configure. What does it look like right now? Okay, so I quite like that, but it hasn't got the cards and options, but it hasn't forgotten them. So, because the Queen told me they hadn't forgotten them. So let me now say, all right, I want you to switch between the Socratic dialogue or the original configuration using basic information cards and then more specialized topics that we began with at the beginning of this build. And if I start a prompt with the word card, I want you to give me that basic information structured response thing. But if I don't, then I'd much rather have this exploratory Socratic dialogue, because it really helps me think about what I'm saying, to be honest. Can you do that? Updating. Yes, I can now switch modes based on your prompt. Begin with cards to get structured foundational knowledge. Otherwise, I'll guide you with Socratic dialogue. Where shall we begin? Let's test it out first. Card. Oh, hang on. Card. How can I upload a video of this to YouTube? Fed up with context engineering. Okay, it's not actually got the basic information cards, but maybe that's because I asked that type of question. This is more like standard ChatGPT. Oh, test it again. how can I ensure that the original information is not lost in your configuration? In other words, I started a prompt. Oh no, this is going to be Socratic. Let me delete this one. Test again. Card. How do I upload a video to YouTube? But it's still got the basic upload process. So maybe it's working. Maybe it's just the question I'm asking it. Okay, try again. Card. Explain what a Socratic teacher is. No, it hasn't got it. Damn it, I'm going to have to do some more work on this to make sure that it works. I've just tested you out and you are not switching modes as you said you would. You're giving me structured foundational knowledge, that's fine, but you are not using the original learning prompt. And I don't want you to forget that. So I'm now going to upload it again. Wait a minute. Actually, let's paste it here. Don't have to wait a minute. Include this in information, configuration, switch between Socratic, type it there, but it doesn't matter, and card. If a prompt begins with card, then use the learning prompt following. Right. Right, let's try. I'm going to put in card. Explain what? Hang on. Card. Explain what prompt engineering is for a change. To card. Don't need it for a change. Just keep it clear. What is? Hey, got it, got it, got it. Now let's start again. And this time I'm not going to say card. I'm going to say explain prompt engineering, please. See if it does it without the card. Yay, it works. Cool. Did it, did it, did it. Hooray. So I can create it now. And anyone with a link can get it. I can also put it in the GP store. Why not? I think it works quite well. So let's put it in the store. Published. There we are. And this is the link, which copied link, and view it. Here it is. So I hope that that helps you to build GPTs. Share. Say goodbye. Ask ChatGPT how to upload to YouTube.